The sun may be going down in Lynchburg, Virginia, but the hoops are heating up tonight as the Liberty Flames welcome in the red-hot Camels from Campbell. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for making us a part of your evening. As always, alongside former Liberty player and assistant coach Paul Naskin, I'm Matt Warner. And Naz, we talk about these Camels. They're playing so well here of late, 5-3 in Big South play. As you take a look at this team and how it's constructed, are they a legitimate threat to the Big South crown?
Yeah, I think this Campbell team is for real. You know, the knock has been in the past that they've relied too heavily on the scoring of Chris Clemens, but this year they've added some other components that great teams have. They're playing great team defense. They've got a good supporting cast of guys that are helping in the scoring column. They're another year experience to really understand Coach McGeehan's philosophy. I think this team is for real. Now,
on the other end of the spectrum, the Flames have dropped 4 straight, and to make matters worse, we find out before the ball game that leading scorer Lavelle Campbell is out for the foreseeable future with a knee injury. Naz, how does that affect this team, and how can they overcome this struggle they've had?
Yeah, it's a huge loss. You know, you lose your leading scorer, but, you know, one thing Liberty does have is depth. We've talked about that in the past. So when you're in a next man up situation, Liberty's in a good spot. They've got other guys that can come in and add scoring. They've got other guys that can pick up the defense where Lavelle will be missed also. So I think they're in a good spot to get back in the win column tonight.
There are ups and downs in every season. Certainly one guy that's not going to panic, head coach Richie Mckay, with more on his attitude. We check in with Bobby Bowling.
Well, Matt, one thing I think we both know about Richie Mckay is not only is he extremely competitive, but also not one to give up easily. He's been in this game long enough to know you're going to face some kind of adversity one way or another in a season, but it's how you deal with that adversity that makes the difference. And he says, if you love this game like he does, and you love this program, you're going to find a way. He said this wouldn't be the time or the team to give up on it. Matt, you and Naz will see it tonight, the passion he has and the confidence he has for this program.
Yeah, we don't expect to see this team lie down tonight, no doubt about it. Time now for our Foster Fuels Who's Hot players to watch, beginning with probably the easiest choice we've had all year, Naz, for Campbell.
Yeah, one guy that's always hot. You know, you're going to get a chance tonight to see one of the best scorers in the country in Chris Clemens. You know, 24 points a game. It leads the Big South Conference, but he's also number 5 in the nation in scoring. You know, this kid is just electric. He's a prolific scorer. You know, he's been added to a few national award watch lists. Liberty's got their hands full trying to stop Chris Clemens.
And for the Flames tonight, somebody coming off the bench, perhaps? Maybe give it a little spark to this Flames offense.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to highlight Caleb Holmesley, you know, a kid that continues to work himself back in from ACL surgery a year ago. 7 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, but he's always doing other things. You know, getting some blocks, playing great defense. The Flames Nation is waiting for his breakout game. It could be tonight.
The last 4 meetings between these two, the Flames have won them all. Will that streak continue tonight, or can the Camels steal one in Lynchburg? Find out next on LFSN. Welcome back to the Vine Center. Starting lineups being announced here in the arena. Let's get them to you there, your home as well, as we take a look at the starting 5 for the Campbell Camels. Chris Clemens leads the way, of course he does. 68 straight double-digit scoring efforts for him. He's followed by Corey Ginsler, Marcus Burk, Andrew Udy, who we'll talk a lot about here tonight, and Shane Whitfield. That rounds out the starting 5 for the Camels. For Liberty, looks a little bit different. As we mentioned, no Lavelle Campbell, so the starting 5 looks like this. Ryan Kimwright, Elijah Cuffey. You get the point guard, George Pacheco-Ortiz. Mayo Baxter-Bell making his first start since December 2nd. And the big man, Scotty James, rounds out the starting 5 for the Flames. Head coaches, take a look at Campbell's head man, Kevin McGeehan, in his 5th season. Done a good job with the Camels, has them off to their best start since his first year there in Bowie's Creek. And for Liberty, Richie Mckay, also in his 5th season, 3rd year in his 2nd go-around with the Flames. 250 career wins all time, as he's trying to get Liberty back on track. Losers of 4 straight, and a couple of teams, Naz, their last times out, very, very different. Liberty got worked over by UNC Asheville. This Campbell squad, a buzzer beater to knock off first place Radford. They're riding high coming into this one. So do you expect these first few minutes to be maybe a little bit more important than usual given the way these two enter here tonight?
Yeah, I think so. So Campbell, you want to make sure you don't let down coming off a high like that. In fact, they had in the last 8 days 2 buzzer beater victories by number 3 Chris Clemens there. But yeah, Liberty, you really got to, you got to put Sunday behind you. Asheville came in here like a machine, and so you got to just rebound from that, come back and fight.
Well, that's not the start that the Camels wanted as Udy kicks it out of bounds. A quick turnover will give it back to the Flames. The Flames, again, without Lavelle Campbell, also without Isaiah Williams, who's still serving a team-mandated suspension. So they will try to make do without both of those athletic players. The Big South would like to thank Hardee's, a contributing partner to the Big South Network. This guy expects to get added minutes. Elijah Cuffey, he starts things off. Firing one to Kimwright. No, fight for the board. Taken by Chris Clemens. He's a little guy, but he does more than just score. Averages over 4 rebounds per ball game for the Camels. As they come the other way. 5-3 in Big South play, 11-9 overall. Udy gonna spot up from beyond the arc, banks it in. Well, a turnover on the first possession, banked it in the second. I don't know if you can read much off of those 2 possessions for him, but he'll take the early 3.
Well, what you can read is that, again, we mentioned this team is more well-balanced. You got Udy, who plays the 5, out there shooting 3s. So, again, they don't have to always rely on Chris Clemens to bail them out.
Scotty James backing in, trying to go off the window, too strong. He's coming off one of his better games here over the last few weeks, as he did play well against UNC Asheville. 19 points, 7 boards in the loss.
Yeah, Scotty finally looked like himself in the second half of Sunday's game against Asheville. They're going to really need him tonight.
Burke backing it out. He's dangerous beyond the arc. They got some guys that can shoot it. There's Gensler letting it fly and knocking it down. The high arcing triple. Couple of quick 3s for Campbell. And they're up 6-zip. Well, this was not the start the Flames were looking for. See if they can get some offense going. This has been the end where they have struggled this year. Georgie Pacheco trying to do it all himself on this possession, but that shot comes up short. And here comes Campbell. Oh, good find down low. And a foul as Udy took it up strong. He'll head to the line for a couple. Take a look at our keys to the game brought to us by The View, Naz.
Well, for Campbell, it's a supporting cast, and they're already starting their mission. Yep. We see Udy with a 3 and also Gensler with a 3. So when those guys get involved, they're really tough. And then defensively, they're really going to have to work on their rotations and get out to Liberty shooters. Liberty, they got to play with some passion. Again, they've got some things stacked against them. You know, Lavelle Campbell out. You got to fight that with some fire, bring some energy to the court. And then offensively, you've mentioned that sometimes they've been stalled a little bit on the offensive end. Get the other guy a shot. Work to make the extra pass. That's going to make Liberty's offense click, and that's what they need tonight. Liberty
going with a small lineup now as they bring in Talbert and bring in Keegan McDowell. So those are your, essentially, Ezra Talbert is your big right now. Your 5 as he's out there, the junior out of Olathe, Kansas. Trying to get a little smaller, a little more athletic. Elijah Cuffey has it top of the key. And whistle, they're going to get Gensler for a bump. That'll be his first. By the way, that foul earlier on Liberty went against Scotty James. So 1 team foul on each of these squads as Liberty to inbound across the way, trailing 8-0.
Yeah, they really
out of
need
the gate.
to get something in the scoring column here. Get a little confidence going. And
Cuffey gives it up to Kimwright. Kimwright, the senior, spinning in the lane, taking it up through traffic. No, the rebound taken by Campbell. Chris Clemens gives off to Burk. This is a kid Burk we'll talk about, I'm sure, as we continue. He's basically doubled his scoring output from his freshman season a year ago. As Udy going to work on Talbert, had him turned around, the ball knocked away, and a whistle goes against the Flames.
Yeah, that's, Burke, part of that supporting cast of guys that have taken some of that scoring load off of Clemens and really make them a better, well-rounded team.
Clemens always in range.
Oh, yeah.
Don't think you don't need to get out there, and it's going to be a tough test for the freshman tonight as he buries one in Elijah Cuffey's face. Elijah Cuffey, just a young man.
Yeah,
Chris Clemens has been around the block a time or two, and there's not too many people in the country that can slow him down. Here he comes again.
We talked about Cuff and how he's really made some great strides.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, that was almost at the hash mark there, but...
Well, Campbell out to a 2-touchdown lead here, and we're not even 4 minutes into the ball game. Worst case scenario right now for Liberty is they're trying to fight their way through it, grit their teeth, and get a shot to go. Ezra Talbert, will he be the one? 3-ball up and off the mark.
And Liberty not even really attacking the offensive glass there, so an easy pull and a for Campbell.
Whitfield steps, so they turn it over. Second turnover for Campbell here in the early going. As Miles Baxter-Bell prepares to check back in for Liberty, it looks like he'll be joined by Caleb Holmesley. As right now, Richie Mckay must just be looking for somebody, anybody that can get in there and give a spark. And Neds, it's tough when you're on a team that's struggling offensively like this. You want to be selfless.
Yeah.
You want to keep the ball moving, but at the same time, you almost feel a responsibility, especially some of the veteran players, to be the guy to get your team out of this.
Yeah, to kind of step up and make a big play.
That hurts the flow of the offense as well. Georgie feeding Mayo in the post. Double team comes. Knocked away. 8 on the shot clock. They swing it to Cuffey. He'll catch and fire. That's off the mark. A whistle. And it's going to go against the Camels. They're going to get Shane Whitfield on the foul. Well, not the start the Flames had in mind. They trail 14-zip with 15:45 to go in the first half.
It's 4 a.m. and what do you see? Nothing, because it's dark. Which means the other breakfast guys are still sleeping, because it's 4 a.m. But you know who isn't sleeping? The Hardee's Biscuit Baker. They just got to work, mixing buttermilk, flour, butter, hand-kneaded, rolled, and put in the oven. Made from scratch every 15 minutes, because that's the only way to make a Hardee's biscuit. Let's see how the other guys are doing. Aw, sleep tight, fellas. Long day of pushing microwave buttons ahead. The Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit for just $1.69, only at Hardee's.
What's the Big South?
What's the Big South?
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
It's our home.
Rooted in excellence.
Built from hard work.
It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential.
It's our heart.
Unbreakable bonds.
And our journey.
Striving for more.
Determined to lead.
Day in and day out.
This is the Big South.
Where winners are made.
Visit BigSouthSports.com and stay current with everything in the Big South Conference. News, results, stats, standings, and much more. Vote on the Utz fan poll, watch the Hardee's star plays, and enjoy video features profiling student-athletes from across the conference. Plus, of course, free live streaming events throughout the year on the Big South Network. Remember, the source for all your conference information, BigSouthSports.com. Well, as unfortunately slow starts, not unfamiliar for Liberty here of late. You see, just on Sunday against UNC Asheville, fell behind 13-4 in that ball game. They're at the 15:45 mark. We stay here at the 15:45 mark. In this one, it's 14-0. Richie Mckay, you're in that huddle. What are you trying to do to rally the troops?
Well, encouragement, I think, is kind of what they need. You know, there's a time to get on guys, but that's not what Liberty needs right now. Just, you know, talk to them positively. They got faith. They got guys that are qualified. You got a long way to go. You just got to start pecking away at this margin.
Elijah Cuffey to the line. Puts the Flames on the scoreboard with that free throw. Cuffey, freshman out of West Virginia. Averaging about 4.5 points per ball game. They say he was fouled on that three-point attempt, so he's going to get one more here. And he gets them all to fall. So 3 for Elijah Cuffey. Check in once again with the third member of our crew, Bobby Bowling. Bobby?
Matt, you mentioned the height of Chris Clemens and how many people may look at that as a disadvantage, but if you ask Chris his thoughts on being 5'9", he would say otherwise. In fact, he says he's thankful for his height because it made him into the type of person he is today. If you ask his father, he said he believes that's what's made him who he is as well, and he would not have worked as hard if he wasn't. His father talks about Chris growing up and how he idolized Allen Iverson, the shortest #1 NBA draft pick ever. He said Chris read his book and even picked up on Iverson's crossover that I'm highly sure of, Matt, that we will see throughout this game sometime.
Yeah, if you're going to model your game after another little guard, AI, not a bad one.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I just watched the 30 for 30 about the Baltimore boys, you know, and Muggsy Bogues and those kids out of Dunbar. And again, sometimes what could be looked at as a deficit, you use that to your advantage and your motivation. Chris Clemens has certainly done that. What a great scorer. What a great player.
Absolutely. I mean, 5'9", but a dude that can get his shot off just about anybody. By the way, a whistle there. There was a coach's box violation, or warning, I should say, against the Flames bench. So that's what that was about, as Liberty comes the other way, trailing by 14. Keegan McDowell, freshman out there. A couple of freshmen for the Flames. Georgie Pacheco going baseline, drawing some contact. Couldn't finish, but he'll head to the line for a pair.
Yeah, strong move by Georgie there along the baseline, man. They sure could have used that bucket to fall, but gets himself to the line.
Yeah, that foul going against Andrew Udy. Georgie actually tied with Chris Clemens for the best free throw percentage in the Big South Conference, shooting 90% on the season.
I mean, that's another thing that makes Clemens so tough.
Yeah.
It's like you've got to get up into him to try to guard him, but what are you going to do? You're going to send him to the free throw line where he's...
Well, he's lightning quick.
Yeah, strong.
Strong, and he can shoot the three from, NBA range, so you have to get out and respect it that far. Not just shoot it, but shoot it efficiently.
Yeah. So you can see why he's just an all-around nightmare to guard.
Averaging over 24 points per ball game. He has it right now. Catch, fire. Every time he releases it, you're surprised when it doesn't go in. And he has one of those just easy releases. As it looks effortless, quick, but like he's not straining getting it up there from NBA range. There's a smooth triple from Ryan Kimwright. Flames needed that.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered there. We were talking about Ryan. Sometimes he's a little bit too unselfish, getting other people involved. He needs to step up as a senior and take any look he has, and certainly his teammates have confidence in him.
There's a corner three off the mark out of the hand of Burke. And the Flames come back with it. This crowd, this Liberty bench, trying to urge them on, maybe give them a little bit of life.
Yeah, you got to put these strings together where you get a bucket, you get a stop down the other end, see if they can put a couple baskets back-to-back together.
Lyle Baxter Bell kicks it out. Georgie, top of the key three. That rattles through. There's some signs of life out of this Liberty offense as they cut the deficit to just 6.
Nice seeing Liberty respond like that.
Mayo trying to get out there and hedge, couldn't quite cut off Chris Clemens as we take a look at that George Pacheco triple.
Yeah, nice recognition there by Mayo. He saw that the double came from the top of the key, and Clemens threw it right back to his man, Georgie. Georgie steps up and drains it.
A 14-0 run to begin this ball game for the Campbell Camels. Liberty chipping away from that point. Mogalato in there now. He hands off. They give it back to Whitfield, top of the key. 2 on the shot clock. Burke forced to hoist and hit. Boy, is he ever tough, too. You talk about a good three-point shooter in Clemens. Burke will just kill you from out there as well.
Yeah, see, and a year ago, they'd have to get the ball back in Chris Clemens' hands to have something at the end. Now they've got other guys that they've got confidence in. It just makes them a more well-rounded. They're really a tough team.
Kimwright gets some space. He fires and has the answer. Yeah, you know what? Let's see Ryan Kimwright get out there and just let it fly a little bit tonight.
I think he heard me running by us here. He's got to look for his shot more, certainly more than capable. His teammates have faith that he needs to let it fly tonight.
Clemens has space, makes you pay.
That's tough right there. Mogalato does a little handoff and then sets a screen, creates just enough space for Clemens to get another one off. Always in range.
King McDowell gets it up as the double team came. Nearly lost it, now looking for some help. Top of the key, George Pacheco, pump fake. Now kicks to Kimwright. 10 on the shot clock. Georgie calling for the screen, he'll launch. And they're gonna get Liberty with an offensive foul. Scotty James moving screen, and that's 2 on Scotty. Well, this Camels team, they've been playing well, as we mentioned, of late. They've been doing it in dramatic fashion. A couple of buzzer-beating wins, most recently against Radford. And they're kind of playing free and easy, like this is a team that's riding some momentum right now, the way they've started this ball game.
Yeah, they've got some confidence, just in talking with people in that program. They really benefited from playing in the CIT a year ago. Got those extra games, really got these guys a lot of extra experience in that, and they're reaping the benefits now.
Yeah, much like Liberty, they played 3 games deep into the CIT before getting bounced out of that tournament. Remember the run that Campbell went on in the Big South tournament a year ago?
Yeah, it started in the Big South. They parlayed that into the CIT appearance. and you're seeing the benefits of getting guys extra minutes.
Oh, goodness. You're seeing the benefits of having Chris Clemens on your team. 12 quick ones.
Yeah, I was not exaggerating to say in the open that he is one of the best scorers in the country.
Ryan Kimwright, the aggressive move at the other end. He'll earn himself a couple of free throws. But so far, it has been what we thought it would be for Campbell. It's the Chris Clemens Show.
Be free to be you. The freedom to drive what you want to drive, wear what you want to wear, and bank where you want to bank. At Carter Bank and Trust, you'll find the freedom to bank the way you like. Personal service with a smile, face-to-face from people that know you. And with services like our no-fee debit card, lifetime free checking, and over 100 convenient locations, you're free to bank your way. Carter Bank and Trust, the freedom to be you.
Marriott, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference. For the best rates, book directly with Marriott by heading to BigSouthSports.com/Marriott, and you will support Big South student athletes in the process. That's BigSouthSports.com/Marriott. Well, what can you say about Chris Clemens? He's already given us a highlight reel, and we're only, not even 8 minutes, I guess just over 8 minutes into this ball game. He can do it a variety of ways. He's doing it all from beyond the arc thus far. Yeah, and he's on fire. You know, the only thing I would do is just try to get up into him a little more, make him try to put something off the dribble. You've already seen, he's got 4 threes already. And he doesn't need much distance or time to get it off. So, one way to combat that is you crowd a guy. You get up into him, make him take something off the dribble, just to change things up. Sure. Campbell, 8 of 10 from the field to start the ball game, 8 of 10 from beyond the arc. We did a double take looking at the stat sheet there. All their field goals from beyond the arc.
Why go inside? Why? When you can stay out at distance and hit them.
I'm with you. Ryan Kimwright gets both free throws to fall. He does have 8 as he's played well here in the early going for the Flames.
Well, the pack line, in all seriousness, is meant to take away the interior shots.
Sure.
But if teams are hitting from the outside, it's time to extend a little more. Liberty needs a little better job contesting the arc.
Ja'Cour Nelson just checked in. He drives, gives it up. Whitfield has it. DeMontez Oliver also just in the ball game. There's Clemens. There you go. And as he drives, and they're going to get Caleb Holmesley for the block.
Yeah, see, I like what Liberty did there. Make him put it on the floor. Maybe get some guys coming over. Holmesley, nice idea. Just gets there a little bit.
Ooh.
I don't know. Say he gets there a little bit late, but
looked like a pretty good job there from Caleb as Clemens will head to the line again, a 90% free throw shooter. Big South would like to thank Geico, a contributing partner to the Big South Network. 13 now for Clemens. Look where he stands on the free throw line, Naz. You see that?
Yeah.
He is way offset to the right. He shoots a diagonal free throw, essentially. Listen, I'm not going to argue with the guy shooting a 90% clip, but that is a little bizarre.
I've seen guys do that or do different things when they're not really good free throw shooters. Some guys will take a step back off the line, but with a guy like him, I was a little bit surprised because he's just a pure
Yeah, he is. It's not just like slightly offset. He's almost as far to the right.
It's almost an elbow jumper there, but you certainly can't fault the results.
No, hey, whatever he's doing. 28-16, now nearly a turnover as Lotto got in there, knocked it away. Kimwright open from the corner. Ryan Kimwright off the mark. Got a good look, just couldn't knock it down, and here comes Campbell. Jordan Whitfield with the ball now, younger brother of Shane, and he turns it over. The big fella, Miles Baxter-Bell, ahead of the pack. And they say he took steps, and they wave it off. Miles saying, hey, don't fault me because I'm so smooth.
Well, Miles kind of looked behind him, and I don't know if he lost a handle on the ball and walked a little bit, but I didn't see it. I did not see the travel, but
so Tough break from Mayo there. Does a good job defensively. And Whitfield throws one up with the left hand, and that's the kind of game it's been. Everything going the way of the Camels. Now they bring a little half-court pressures. They want to keep the intensity going on the defensive end. Cuffey nearly lost it, got it back. Now looking for help. George Pacheco has it, 15 on the shot clock. Georgie slips down, keeps the handle.
Well, great body control there from Georgie. They're going to need a shot here.
A lot of dribbling, drives, hangs, and hits. It ended up resulting in points, but probably not the ideal offensive possession that Richie Mckay wants to see from his team. Not a lot of ball movement.
Yeah, that's a danger. Sometimes the score makes you think it's good offense, but you really, a lot of passes, you need a lot of player movement, ball movement. Assists is really what Liberty's offense is at its best.
Liberty with 2 assists on 4 buckets thus far. Liberty's gotten it done at the free throw line. That's what's even kept them within 12 right now. They're 7 of 7 from the charity stripe. Ryan Kimwright going to drive, lower the shoulders, throw it up. No, gets his own rebound. Takes it up strong again. Couldn't finish. Kimwright ended up in almost the first row. Somehow came back and still beat everybody to the rebound as Burk. Oh, goodness. Burk knocking it down from deep. He's got 9.
And when you're hot, you're hot. The Camels have come in here right from the tip.
You got to find these guys, Naz. I mean, as soon as they cross half court, because they're spotting up and not wasting any time. It's kind of like you've said multiple times for teams playing Liberty, if you can get early offense before their defense gets set, do it. They're getting their offense, but it's all beyond the arc. They're not even worried about getting to the rim at this point.
Yeah, so again, I think the pack needs to kind of extend a little bit, and you got to be out there when guys on the perimeter are catching the ball, especially guys like Burke and certainly Clemens, but Gensler when he's in the game.
Oliver has it now. Burke, boy, no hesitation. Why would there be? Marcus Burk now with 12.
See, and Burke was standing there, spotted up.
Yeah, just
waiting. Yeah, had already gauged in his range, and so on the catch, he was going into his shot.
Well, there has to be a little bit of an adjustment. You don't face a lot of guys like Burke or Clemens that want to let it fly from that range. You almost, mentally, you have to keep telling yourself, I need to get out a little further than I'm used to. That gets us to a timeout. Flames glad to get one. They trail 36-20 with 7:49 to go in the first half.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
Our home.
Rooted in excellence.
Built
From hard work. It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential.
It's our heart.
unbreakable bonds.
And our journey.
Striving for more.
Determined to lead.
Day in
And day out.
This is the Big South.
Where winners are made.
Join the conversation and get social with the Big South. Learn new details about what's going on or share your own experiences as you join the always growing network of Big South fans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and more. Plus, find and follow this year's new conference source for game updates and championship coverage via Twitter at Big South Game Day. Follow, watch, like, and share with the Big South Conference. Well, Naz, it has been a three-point barrage here to start this ball game, and that was what it looked like against UNC Asheville. Boy, we thought they were hot. 11 of 15 in the first half. Here we are, 7:40 to go, 7:49 to go here, the first half.
Yeah,
Campbell,
10 for 12 from
10
three.
10 for 12. Unbelievable. 78% from the field overall, 83% from beyond the arc. That is otherworldly. Zach Farquhar, racks, checking in, getting a look in this ball game.
Campbell in a little bit of a zone here now, so giving Liberty something else to kind of think about and adjust to.
Keegan McDowell pass up the three, got the mid-ranger. Nice play by the young freshman. Get out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, nice to see him hit a bucket gain a little more confidence. They're really going to need him now with the loss of Lavelle Cabell.
And now nearly a turnover. Bounces right into the hands of Clemens. Clemens being guarded by the taller Caleb Holmesley. So they're going to put a bigger body on him. Give up a little quickness. Clemens doesn't care. Buries one. 17. Listen, you talk about the absence of Lavelle Cabell for Liberty. It's not just in the fact that he's their leading scorer. It's in the fact of what he does defensively and what he has done against Chris Clemens their last few meetings. Clemens last year averaged just under 18 points per game against Liberty. You say, well, that's still pretty good. It is. But that was about 7 points off his season average.
Yeah, and a lot of those were scored late in the game after the game was kind of out of reach. So they're certainly missing Lavelle Cabell tonight on both ends of the floor.
Scotty James couldn't quite finish through the contact as now he lays on the floor grabbing his head.
Yeah, took a shot to the head there. And
here's another look. Clemens came across, got him. That'll be the first foul on
Clemens. Clemens got him on the arm, but I think Lotto got him on his way down, just inadvertent contact there.
So he'll head to the line.
Again, Liberty certainly could have used the and one, but things just aren't falling for Liberty.
That one rims off. You know, it's been a weird thing as Zach Farquhar checks out. Georgie Pacheco checks back in for Liberty. Through some of their losses earlier in the conference season, you said, well, you know what? The defense was good. The offense just didn't click. The Asheville game, the defense wasn't there either, as Asheville shot, 62% for the game. And here so far tonight, the defense hasn't been there either. And certainly credit both Campbell and Asheville. They've got teams that can make you pay. It's not just
they've got multi-dimensional teams. They've got skills, athleticism, some height, and you need a lot of different components if you're going to kind of win this conference. And those are two teams that could do it.
Those are two teams that could get on a run. You know what I mean? When you think about a scary team, and we saw it firsthand, we mentioned it with this Campbell team last year in the conference tournament. Nobody wanted to play them down to the end of the year when they were heating up.
Yeah, and again, another thing I like about this Campbell team is they've really recommitted themselves defensively. In years past, they always just tried to outscore people.
Yeah.
But this year, I think they're really putting that emphasis on the defensive end, too. And again, it's made them a lot tougher to play against.
Cuffey, good find to Scotty James, who laid it in for his first bucket of the ball game.
Yeah, great finish, but really great look by Elijah Cuffey. Just continues to get better each game.
Everybody trying to trap Lotto in the post there. Now Udy kicking it, losing it, getting it back. Gets it back out, and they'll reset the offense with 14 on the shot clock. And now an offensive foul as Udy and Cuffey were banging down low. And they get Udy for his second. Good to see, as we see this lay-in from Scotty James, even a play like that where the foul is called has to get Richie Mckay a little fired up. To see somebody down there having some pride, banging, working hard. And that's what you're looking for right now. You're looking for anything you can grab onto.
And build off of, that's right. So Cuff makes a nice pass, goes down the other end, plays some tough D, get the foul call. See if they can add a basket to it and get a little something going here.
Georgie driving, pulling up the lane. Got it to fall and the foul.
That's been something that the Flames have enjoyed all year, is when they really need a basket, Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz has been the guy.
Georgie with 11 now here in the first half. Is that whistle?
That was a tough shot, over two hands contesting.
They got Whitfield on the foul there. That's number 2 on him. 8 team fouls on the Camels as Georgie completes the three-point play. Liberty trailing by 11. Kind of start getting to this point, Naz. You start thinking, boy, you get this thing down to single digits.
Yeah, if you're Liberty,
down
just
6 or 7 at the half, the way this thing started, a 14-0 run for the Camels. If you can get it there, you like your chances, and that's going to help.
And I was just going to say, if you're Campbell, Be patient.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need that. I mean, again, Mogalato wants to make a nice move. I think he saw a little mismatch there in Kimwright, but you don't need to force it like that if you're Campbell. You've got the lead. Make Liberty come at you.
Now here comes a little full court pressure from the Camels. Liberty has struggled with this at times this year.
And again, nice move there by...
And now an offensive foul against Liberty, going to send it right back as Baxter Bell called for the transgression.
Yeah, you would think the bigs would learn about... They're watching for on those screens. You can't be moving. You can't get your arms outside of your body and make yourself too wide. So that's that one. And earlier, Scotty James had one to wipe off a basket.
Clemens. Oh, look at the. I mean,
man, he's tough.
You get kind of tired. I'm sure people at home get tired of us just oohing and ahhing. But I mean, heck, we only get to see him one time a year in this building, and he's so. Look at that, so impressive. The long ranger. Now I don't know if Kevin McGeehan was in love with that shot, but at the same time, who's telling him no? I mean, he's knocking him down, and now another offensive foul, moving screen against Liberty. That one on Ezra Talbot.
No, man, no sooner was that out of my mouth that Liberty gets another one. They kind of wipe off a good opportunity for them. But, yeah, going back to Clemens' shot, I mean, he's standing at the hash mark over there, and it's effortless. I mean, you can see his body. I mean, he's a strong kid. It's not just in your arms. Your shot's in your legs. And he's got range, Eddie, all over.
To his credit, you see him hoist those, and, you know, when you shoot it as much as he does, that one taken away. Cuffy now, 3-on-1 if they hurry. Elijah takes it all the way himself. No, tapped out. Probably should have given that one up. As is, he'll stay with the Flames. But you look at Clemens, he's shooting 3 fewer shots a game this year than he did last year, which shows you he understands as well. The entire talent and skill level of the team has come up around him, and he doesn't need to do as much.
Yeah, less is more. He's getting less shots, but they're a better team when he's getting other guys involved.
Now Keegan McDowell from way downtown says, I got you 3 right here.
Yeah, I really like that. I want to see Keegan.
That's about as fired up and emotional as you will ever see Keegan McDowell.
Yeah, he had a great start to the year. Went in a little bit of that freshman slump, but I think he's coming out of it.
Oliver with the answer as he gets in on the three-point party for Campbell. They continue to shoot it well from beyond the arc.
Everybody just about that's in orange is hitting threes.
Cuffy gets it to McDowell. There's Rax Farquhar just checked back into the ball game. Farquhar thought about the 3, puts it on the deck, drives, feeds inside, and the whistle. Nice play from Farquhar as he fed Ezra Talbot. He'll head to the free throw line when we come back. The intensity starting to pick up a bit. Liberty chipping away at the lead. They trail by 11.
Some things become traditions. Thank you for making yours Foster Fuels.
For the latest updates and new look Big South merchandise, visit BigSouthStore.com. Now, once there, you'll be able to gear up with an outstanding variety of officially licensed apparel and conference and school-branded items. So get fully equipped for all your game day fun with the bigger and better online offerings at BigSouthStore.com. Well, Campbell 12 of 17 from beyond the arc. Take a look at the last 5 Liberty opponents, what they've done shooting the 3 against the Flames, almost 52%. So the Flames facing some red-hot shooting clubs, and there are some teams in the Big South that have, you know, you talk about the talent. There's so much good guard play in this league, and so many guys that can get hot like we've seen tonight. That on any given night, you could run into somebody like certainly we've seen tonight, like we saw against UNC Asheville. Some of the guards there at Radford we saw firsthand. A lot of talent in this conference this season. Let's check in once again with the third member of our crew, Bobby Bowling. Bobby, what do you got?
Yeah, Matt, Susie making it obvious. Keep making it hard to these guys. But Richie Mckay says, remember, let's focus on our side of the ball as well. Make sure we're setting the screens and waiting and keeping our time. He says, emphasizing on paying attention to detail like Richie Mckay always says. But he says, let's keep making it hard and keep contesting their shot. So we'll see if they respond to that, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Bobby. You have to think at some point, just the sheer mathematics of it, somebody's going to cool off a little bit.
I'd say that's true for 4 out of the 5 guys that are out there in orange. One guy, I don't think he ever cools down, but yeah, you certainly got to get out, get up into people a little bit more, high hands on the contest.
Yeah, good contest that time by
right
Keegan McDowell.
Keegan got running at a guy, high hands on the contest.
Now Keegan was left all alone as DeMontez Oliver forgot about him, but able to scramble back in time. Kim Wright catches, fires, knocks down the triple. Ryan Kim Wright having a nice evening. He's got 11.
Yeah, not only the made shot, but it comes off a nice assist. Keegan McDowell draws the attention with the dribble and a nice feed. That's how they want to play. Get other guys' shots.
And all of a sudden, Naz, you look up at the scoreboard, it's a 6-point ball game. Clemens going to work. Kicks it out to Burk. He puts it on the deck and travels. Well, there you go. The Flames forcing those shooters, Naz, as you talked about, forcing them to put it on the deck, force them off that three-point line.
Yeah, make them a little uncomfortable. And then, again, Liberty certainly has been doing the job on the defensive end, getting a few stops, rebounds, and then hitting some shots on this end, too. We saw Keegan McDowell hit a big one. Ryan Kemright just hit one last possession. They're pecking away.
And getting a little confidence with each possession, it seems. Ezra Talbert hands off to Georgie Pacheco. Top of the key. Driving, turned it over. Oliver coming the other way. Gets it to Burke. Off the window for 2. Well, those are the kind of momentum killers. Not just an empty possession, but turning it over and leading to points at the other end. Georgie using the screen. Little stutter step. Gets in the lane. Now looking for help. Keegan McDowell has it now. Ezra Talbert pulling Lotto well away from the basket. He can do that too.
The defense is so extended. You know, if you're Liberty.
Keegan McDowell throws his arm in the air trying to get this crowd into a little coming out party for Keegan tonight.
It's about time. Love seeing that.
This is a kid who was shooting 20% from beyond the arc.
And you felt bad because you know the kid's a phenomenal scorer, but I think he's kind of coming into his own. We talked about guys having to step up tonight. He's certainly one that's doing the job.
Clemens just probing, finally drives and gets fouled. That whistle going against Elijah Cuffey as Clemens will head to the line. And now watch where he sets up here.
Yeah.
Look at where he's standing. That's not just now until he gets the basket. This is where he's going to shoot it. He's about a foot off the line. And there he missed it. See, I told you he should have changed what he's doing. No, but look at it, man.
See, if I was Keegan McDowell, then I'd get right up in that top corner.
Missed them both. Well, that's a 90% free throw shooter missing both. That's a rarity. And the Flames with a chance now to continue cutting into this deficit. Cuffey knifing his way through. He draws the foul. He'll head to the line now with Liberty down just 5 and a minute to go here in the first half.
A smart play by Cuff.
Our Bobby Bowling will talk with Richie Mckay as he heads to the locker room. I'm going to be interested to get his thoughts. I bet if you had talked to him 5 minutes into this one, as opposed to here in 60 seconds, although a lot can still happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit different tone.
Yeah, well, I mean, Coach McKay talks about the character of this group and how they will not quit. And again, they had every reason to kind of fold with Campbell shooting the lights out, but they've done the job, got himself back into this game.
Campbell going to use the timeout here. 56 seconds left in the first half. Gives us a chance to tell you, in an effort to enhance fan safety and expedite entrance to the Vine Center, Liberty University is implementing a new clear bag policy. The policy will limit the size and types of bags that are being brought into the arena. For more information on the new Vine Center clear bag policy, please log on to libertyflames.com. Basketball going the way that football has with that clear bag policy, all in an effort to keep everybody safe. Well, that Campbell lead not safe any longer, Naz.
Yeah,
a 14-0 lead out of the gate. Now down to just a 4-point lead. We'll see what Coach McGeehan was able to draw up there in the huddle. Chris Clemens not in the lineup. Marcus Burk is. He has 14. Clemens 17, Burk 14 to lead the way for the Camels here in the first half. But they've cooled down to a paltry 66% shooting, so really slumping. Lotto has it.
You'll see
Campbell. There's Burk, 3-ball, got it to go. Well-designed play, well executed, and they get a much-needed bucket before the break. Keegan McDowell now racing the other way. Finds Ezra Talbert. He'll try to answer. That three did not even draw iron. So a quick trigger.
Yeah, I don't like that. You know, you give Campbell another possession. Again, they're still shooting a high percentage. I would have liked to see a little more patience on the offensive end.
They can't quite play for the last shot. About a 3-second difference between the shot and game clock. Burke, quick release, no. Fight for the rebound, taken by Talbert. George Pacheco has it. They'll have a look.
Yeah, he's got
Georgie
time.
Gives it to Keegan, who lays it in. What a find, what a bucket. And the Flames head to the half with a little momentum, Naz.
Wow, Georgie did a great job of looking the defender off with his eyes. He thought he was going out to the perimeter. Makes a nice find inside Keegan McDowell for the lay-in at the buzzer.
Just a 5-point Campbell lead as we head to the break. What a play at the end to send the Flames to the locker room feeling good about themselves. Let's check in now with the Liberty head coach, who's standing by with Bobby Bowling.
All right, Coach. Campbell came in here with a hot hand, but as the half went on, your team started to heat up as well, making the last 8 for 10. How do you assess your first 20 here?
Yeah, everyone's come in with a hot hand of late, so we just got to weather the storm, do what we do every day defensively. I thought Keegan gave us some great minutes off the bench, and they're trying to wear us down. We knew that's what they were going to do, but our guys rallied. They showed their character by hanging in there in the first half.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest of the game. Matt.
Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, Keegan McDowell, 10 points in the first half, just 2 off his career high. And boy, were those ever needed with the way this one started. Liberty down by just 5. We'll break down the first half and look ahead to the second coming up on LFSN.
Coach, you mentioned this week that your offense hasn't been where you want it to be. Well, this first half shooting over 65% behind the arc. You got to be pretty happy with that stat.
Yeah, we shot really, really well. Obviously, that's not the way a basketball game is going to go, so we're going to have to be ready to handle, making some 2-point baskets here in the second half, and we got to do a little bit better job defending them.
Started off with a 14-0 run. Liberty, like you said, found a way to chip their way back into this one. What was your message? How do you continue to, keep this lead and finish off this game?
In Big South basketball and conference play in any conference, you're going to get a fight from everybody. It doesn't matter. Runs happen all the time. We got to be ready to play this second half.
All right, thanks, Coach, for your time. Good luck the rest of the game. Matt.
Thank you, Bobby. Kevin McGee in there in his 5th season. Also, I'm told a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Oh, yeah.
And as you and he have that in common.
Philly ties. And
yeah, so he was fired up for his Eagles heading to the Super Bowl. Flames start with it here in half number 2, down by just 5. There's the cutting right. Cam Wright throws it down with 2 hands. That's how you start a half.
Right, Cam Wright with the elusive 2-handed dunk.
He's sneaky athletic,
he really
might
is.
say.
He really is.
Campbell now coming the other way. Burke with it beyond the arc. There's Udy, who spent some time on the bench in the first half with foul trouble. Whitfield now back to Udy. Remember, he started the 3-point barrage by banking one in at the beginning of the ball game. That's knocked out of bounds with 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. It'll stay with Campbell. How about this? You think that's what Richie Mckay had in mind when he drew that up? And then Ryan, you catch it and you throw it down. I don't know about that, but it worked that way. And a whistle. Nope, stepped on the out-of-bounds line there, did Chris Clemens. So a turnover.
Well, he's in range even on the red out-of-bounds
He's saying, why should I be limited by this,
That's right. What's a white line?
This rectangle we play on. Keegan McDowell gives it to Brian Kimray, working on Burke.
Yeah, and Keegan was certainly made some big plays, gets the start in the second half here.
Keegan had 9 points in all the Big South play before the first half, where he scored 10. So he really broke out. Look at Georgie getting in there, creating some contact, and he'll head to the line to shoot a couple. Well, we talk about this team being one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country, and I'm speaking of Liberty.
Yeah.
Right now, they're 5th in the nation in free throw percentage. And there have been times where we've said, you know what? That's such a weapon.
Best offense, yeah.
Get to the rim, create a little contact, get to the free throw line. We've seen them maybe do that and force the issue in this ball game more than maybe some other nights, as that one rims through.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a facet of the game that you have to use to your advantage. So as defenses get extended on you, you've got to be able to penetrate, get yourself to the rim, or maybe get yourself to the free throw line.
Liberty, 13 of 16 from the charity stripe here tonight. Especially in the early stages of this game when they could not find a bucket from the field. That kind of kept them hanging around.
Yeah.
Lotto has it, top of the key, looking for a cutting Clemens. Instead, hands off to Burke. Look how far out they're
and they run
getting out on him now.
They run a Princeton-style offense, so you'll see a lot of cutting and backdoor looks.
Burke, shot clock winding down. Do they realize it? No. Shot clock violation. UD didn't get it off in time.
Yeah, that is a great defensive possession there by Liberty. Again, it's a tough offense to defend because there's so much movement. There's reads and backdoor cuts. And then again, what makes them so tough is out of that offense, then they got guys at the end of a possession that can just go get their own shot.
And you've got a big like UD who leads your team in assists.
Yeah,
that isn't just a normal big.
Yeah.
He can find guys and
play out on the perimeter and pass, as well as set screens and bang around inside.
A facilitator. Liberty with it. Scotty James working on Lotto. Spins, lays it in for two. And we've got a tie ball game.
Wow, Liberty has come out of this locker room with some fire in their belly. It's exactly what they needed, playing with some passion.
You're watching the Big South Network, brought to you in part by Geico. Let's see if Clemens has an answer. Gives it up, now gets it right back, knocked away, taken away. Good defense. Oh, Keegan McDowell falling out of bounds, forced to throw it, taken right back. Burke missing the offensive rebound now by Lotto. Trapped underneath, looking for help. They get it out to Clemens and they'll reset. Here comes the trap on Lotto, little bump. And that foul gonna go against Scotty James. That'll be number 3 on Scotty as he screams to the bench saying, let me stay in this ball game.
Yeah, right here you see him set Lotto up to the middle and a nice quick drop step to the baseline side. Nice move, Scotty James.
Campbell with it, all tied up here at 47. Burke nearly slipped down, fortunate to keep the handle. UD now gets inside to the Lotto, and they got him for the walk. Those feet moving a little bit before you put the ball on the deck.
Yeah, that's tough when you got Mayo Baxter-Bell leaning on you. But the Flames get the stop they needed with a chance to take the lead. We didn't think we'd be able to say that.
I did not know if we would see that here tonight. Again, if you're just joining us, a 14-0 run to start this game for Campbell. As Liberty playing without the services of Lavelle Cabell, who's out with a knee injury. Also without Isaiah Williams, who's still serving a suspension. Kimwright driving, gives it up to McDowell. Lost the handle, and they'll say he was the last to touch it. So a turnover gives it back to Campbell.
Yeah, Clemens poked it away and knocked it off McDowell to regain the possession.
Lotto getting a touch.
Yeah, Lotto calling for the ball. Another guy that's been vastly improved over a year ago.
UD has it beyond the arc. He's going to put it on the deck. Kicks, NBA range 3 from Clemens, pure. Chris Clemens, first points of the second half. He's got 20. Clemens knows all the little tricks, too. You watch him coming around screens. He throws that head back, trying to draw a foul, maybe get a whistle.
Yeah, he can use his body to create a little space, too. His strong body.
Whistle underneath. They'll say it was on the floor as they're going to get Marcus Burk on the whistle.
You know, Mayo Baxter-Bell, they're getting him some touches, and Mayo comes off probably his 2 best games.
Yeah.
You know, at High Point. 17, I think, down at High Point, and
he had 8 against UNC Asheville as well. Yeah, he played great, especially in that first half at High Point. Ryan Kimwright looked at him. Now they get to McDowell.
They're in this extended zone.
That pass nearly stolen away. Instead, it'll stay with Liberty after the timeout. So the offense is getting a little sloppy, but we've got a tight one here in the second half. 3-point ball game. Campbell leads.
Billy Kraft Honda wants you to know sensing. These new driver assistive technologies can help you sense things you might miss while driving. In some cases, they can even help you avoid a collision or mitigate its severity. Lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and forward collision warning. Billy Kraft Honda wants you and your family to be happy, safe, and comfortable.
Billy Kraft,
Your one-stop Honda shop.
For more than 120 years, we've been there. In churches and schools, camps and senior living centers. We've been there in times of joy and in the most difficult moments, in times of loss. And our success has been measured not by the bottom line, but by our unwavering commitment to protecting our customers so they can continue their important work. Church Mutual Insurance Company, protecting the greater good.
Well, Big South events can be yours wherever you go, live and free on the Big South Network, available through the Watch tab at BigSouthSports.com. You can access BSN on your phone, tablet, or computer. You can also get the free Big South Network channel for your Roku device or Roku TV to watch games on the big screen. With hundreds of games every year, watch your team in action anytime, anywhere on the Big South Network. 3-point ball game. As you get a look at Richie Mckay, they're going no tie. They're going with the tennis shoes tonight.
Yeah.
All part of the Coaches versus Cancer, week that's going on in college basketball as they're raising awareness for the fight against that awful disease. And
some sweet kicks right there.
They did. We need to, next year we need to plan ahead and see if they'll hook us up.
Yeah.
I would happily match with them if they would provide me with the footwear.
Yes, I would.
As Mayo Baxter-Bell lays it in for 2.
I would join you.
Just a 1-point ball game now. As Mayo goes sprawling to the deck, able to find his feet.
He's out on the hedge, and he's got to get himself back.
Boy, Burke got him off his feet. Now the follow, the offensive board. The fight for the basketball comes loose, still loose. Lotto has it on the deck. Was he calling for a timeout? Yeah, he got it. So Lotto takes the timeout here at the 15:25 mark in the second half. We'll take one as well. Tight ball game here in Lynchburg.
The running of the Bulldogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
What's the Big South?
What's the Big South?
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
It's our home.
Rooted in excellence.
Built from hard work.
It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential.
It's our heart.
Unbreakable bonds.
And our journey.
Striving for more.
Determined to lead.
Day in and day out.
This is the Big South.
Where winners are made.
1-point ball game. In the first half, we talked about guys stepping up, and Keegan McDowell certainly did that for Liberty. 10 points in the first half. And with more on that young man, we check in once again with Bobby Bowling. Bobby?
Well, Matt, one thing you may not know about Keegan McDowell is he comes from a family of athletes. He's got 5 brothers and sisters. and every single one of them are Division I athletes. His older brother played basketball at William Mary. His sister's a swimmer at Louisville. Another sister plays basketball for Missouri, and his last sister runs track here for Liberty. So, after he told me that story, Matt, I thought, the first thing I thought was, that set of parents, they have a few challenges on what games to attend on what weekends.
That's right. Also, something you may not know, Naz, is Keegan actually gives haircuts as well. Before media day or photo day for the team, he gave some guys on the team a haircut. So, very talented. You like having versatile guys like that on your team.
Yeah, certainly.
On the court and off, he's helping out.
I definitely remember his brother Quinn at William and Mary. I mean, just a phenomenal shooter.
He was that certainly in the first half for Liberty. He's out there right now.
He gets it honest. I'm sure him and his brother had some.
Well, they tried to feed him there, but that one knocked away as dangerous pass.
Careless here.
Clemens comes the other direction. That's the thing with this Campbell team. One poor play, giving them an extra possession, and they can just make you hurt, make you pay, and they can do it in a quick fashion as a whistle underneath goes against Ryan Kimright. We saw how explosive this Campbell's offense is in the first half. Udy earns himself a couple of free throws. Udy held relatively in check. Just 5 points thus far. Getting a little bit of foul trouble in the first half, but how versatile, and you talk about valuable, certainly Chris Clemens will be considered the most valuable player on this team by almost anyone. But
the most improved is Udy. They just rave about how hard that kid worked throughout his freshman year and even over this past summer to just continue to get better and round out his game.
Well, he leads the team in rebounds, assists, and blocks. And to your point, Naz, this guy averaged 1 point per game his freshman year. This day and age, how often do you see somebody say, you know what, it's not going to work out for me. I'm going to find someplace else if they don't have the kind of success they want too early. He stuck it out. Real credit to him. He's gotten better and better during his time with Campbell. Keegan McDowell going to hoist the three, online but strong. We'll head the other way. 3-point ball game. Chris Clemens handles. Elijah Cuffey has drawn the unenviable task of guarding him most of the night. He's on him right now. Udy again gets it.
But they like Cuffs, the way he's picked up the defense as a unit, as the pack line, but individually too. He certainly got the skills to make it difficult on people.
There's a little defense from Holmesley as he contested the shot, comes away with the rebound. Caleb now swings it. Georgia Pacheco's going to back it out. You're watching the Big South Network, brought to you in part by Hardee's. Georgie finds Caleb all alone. Good patience and a good find for the Deuce.
Yeah, I want to see Caleb get more involved in this offense. There he's got a basket right away. Get a little confidence going. They need him to kind of add some punch in the scoring column.
Now he's matched up on Lotto. Clemens, 3-ball up and in. Boy, he goes quiet for just a few minutes, and you kind of think, well, hey, maybe he's cooling off, maybe. No, he's not. He's just biding his time.
Can use the screen so well, can kind of create a little bit of space.
That one deflected out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Flames. There's that last Georgia Pacheco feed to Caleb Holmesley. You talk about using screens. There it is, just a little bit of space.
Yeah, just Lotto gives him a little handoff there, and it's just enough space created to get his shot off. Deadly.
Miles Baxter Bell gets out, swing it to the corner. Kimright with the three of his own off the mark. Burke pulls down the rebound. Liberty shooting 4 of 6 from the field here in the second half. Campbell just 2 of 6. Is that one thrown away? Out of bounds, back to Liberty. So a turnover will give it back to the Flames. 12 turnovers on Campbell. Liberty's turned it over 10 times. It's been a shooting contest throughout much of the night. Ryan Kimright has it.
There's that extended zone. Yeah. Campbell's done a nice job tonight mixing up defenses.
Miles Baxter Bell, the aggressive move, couldn't finish, but they're going to get Udy on the foul, and that's number 3. So that gets Miles Baxter Bell to the line. Bell this year, Baxter Bell has been very good in the charity stripe, over 90%. He gets the first one to fall. Udy will have a seat. Lotto comes back in. Ezra Talbert checking in for the Flames. Again, Liberty here in the second half, they've been knocking on the door. They have not been able to take a lead yet in this ball game. Second free throw rattles through as well. So 4 points for Baxter Bell. 2-point ball game here as we're under 12 and a half to play. Burke with the high dribble. They get it back out to Whitfield.
And here's this offense. A lot of passing, backdoor cutting, guys coming off screens.
Deep three. Oh, goodness. How do you guard that?
Yeah.
26 for Chris Clemens. Georgie Pacheco is guarding him right now as Cuffey's out of the ball game. Georgie might look to the bench and say, Elijah, get back in here. I want no part of this if he's going to knock down shots like that. McDowell thought about the triple, now going to put it on the deck, steps back, gets it to Kimwright. They swing it to Georgie, 3 of his own, rimmed off. Lotto pulls the board. Chris Clemens gives it up. Probably won't be for long. Gets it right back now. Working on Pacheco, pulls up, buries. What are you gonna do?
See, and it's tough because as a defender, you're not ready to contest that far away. That's not something you usually do. So to just switch it on in one night, it takes some adjustment. Again, Georgie has not guarded Clemens most of this evening.
29 for Chris Clemens. We're at the 11-minute mark here in the second half.
Yeah, we did not exaggerate when we said he's one of the best scorers in the country.
Georgie takes up strong. No, there's Baxter Bell for the rebound. The stick back.
Huge by Myo Baxter Bell. Again, after those shots from Clemens, Liberty needed an answer, needed a bucket.
That snapped a little mini 6-0 run by, well, Clemens. Now Baxter Bell ends up picking up the foul, trying to hedge there, and that'll get us to a timeout. Gives us a chance to say hello to the hardest working crew in showbiz. There they are. Say hello, everybody.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
As Liberty University athletics continue to climb to new heights, Game On is your weekly source for all things Flames. We bring you inspirational stories of faith from this Division I program, as well as all the news and highlights that you crave. Game On is covering the world's largest evangelical university like no one else. So join us each week to see what's happening around Flames Nation. Get in the game and watch Game On.
The 2018 Big South Basketball Championships will be here before you know it. The men's tournament returns to Big South campuses with a high seed format starting on February 27th and concluding with the championship game on March 4th on ESPN. Then the action continues in Lynchburg, Virginia with the Women's Basketball Championship hosted by Liberty University on March 8th through the 11th. For more information about the 2018 Big South Basketball Championships, visit BigSouthSports.com/championships today. Hey, who wants to see more Chris Clemens? Take a look at these last couple of 3 balls well beyond the arc. And Naz, I'll tell you what, I don't know how the Campbell broadcasters do it. I don't know what words you use to describe him by this point in the year, by this point in his career. He does things on a nightly basis no one else does.
Yeah, and he's got, just such a business-like approach. You don't see him get too emotional. And he's got every team's greatest defender in his face every night, and the kid just battles. Such a tough player, such a tough matchup.
Clemens had 43 three-pointers coming in on the season. He has 9 tonight, Naz. 9 tonight. He has hit, and he's 9 of 12. So don't just think he's super inefficient. He's 9 of 12. With more on Clemens, let's check in with Bobby Bowling.
Well, Matt, another interesting story I found out about Clemens is at their household growing up, you will find a variety of WWE belts that they bought a long time ago at Toys R Us that they all dedicated to a different competition. One's known as a blackjack belt, another as an Uno belt, a pool belt, and even a fishing belt. Chris's father said they don't do anything just for fun. Everything is a competition in the Clemson's household.
Yeah, I bet he's worn those belts often as Burke knocks it down. He's got 20.
You notice there's no three-point belt.
No, he probably owns that.
Contest.
Yeah, yeah. He puts that on every day.
Yeah.
Keegan McDowell with it on the wing. 9-point lead as the Camels have kind of pushed this advantage here early in the second half. Liberty looking to find themselves offensively. They swing it to Cuffey. He'll launch. That's off the mark. Fight for the rebound. Taken underneath by Corey Gensler.
Yeah, Liberty's just gone a little bit cold. They came out of the locker room gangbusters, but they've cooled a little bit. But one guy that hasn't, number 3.
Clemens driving, taking the contact. He'll head to the line. One of the few times we've seen him really take it aggressively to the hole tonight.
Yeah, he split the trap at just over midcourt.
He plays at such a, I don't know, he almost lulls you to sleep a little bit. He's so under control, but don't kid yourself. We've seen this kid rise up and just throw it down on people. He has that kind of athletic ability that he'll blow it by you, and then he'll throw it down on you if you let him.
Yeah, and that's another thing that great shooters do. You watch Steph Curry, he'll do that all the time. He'll change his pace.
Yeah.
So you kind of cruise, but then when it's time to come off a curl cut or come off a screen or bust through a trap, you go to full speed. And so using a change of pace is a great weapon, and that's another good thing that Chris Clemens can do.
He gets 1 of 2, so he's got a cool 30 on the night as he'll have himself a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, he hit the floor hard too, so I'm sure he'll need a little moment to recover there. But
so a double-digit lead once again now for the Camels. They push it to 10.
Yeah, and they've stayed in this zone, and it's been effective as Liberty's gone kind of cold from the perimeter.
George Pacheco takes it to the rim, couldn't finish. Rebound taken by Scotty James. He couldn't finish, but he does draw a whistle. That foul going to go against Gensler. You saw it there from Scotty, and we've talked at length this year about what a good job he does on the offensive glass. It's not always grabbing the rebound, but it was just a little tap.
Yeah, kept it alive.
Kept it alive, and then he's quicker off the floor than a lot of other bigs, and he's able to then gather it in and give himself a good offensive opportunity. Here's another look at it. Yeah, just that little tap. That's all it takes.
Yeah, nice recognition by Georgie to see how the zone got extended and then to knife into a gap there and get it all the way to the rim and enable Scotty to get a putback.
Yeah, he's got 7 now on the night. Lotto passing out of the double team. Whitfield with the top of the key. There's Burke catching, firing, and hitting. Boy.
Yeah, the Cuffey there kind of went to try to poke it away from Whitfield and left Burke open. I would not leave Burke or Clemens.
Well, you got to think when Clemens is out of the ball game, Burke needs to be the #1 guy you're honed in on, at least that can beat you from beyond the arc, as another whistle will send Scotty James to the line.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to help on a guy, but I'd rather leave Whitfield alone at the top of the key than to help off of Burke or a guy certainly like Clemens.
2 more free throws coming for Scotty James. Knocks it down. Scotty, the redshirt sophomore, transferred to Liberty out of Bradley. His mom is actually a professor here at Liberty. His brother is on the roster redshirting. So this family is tied in to Liberty basketball, certainly.
Well, like they did in the first half, Liberty's got to come back in this game with getting some stops first.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. And then you hope you can build some baskets, but they can't keep trading here, especially as Burke has gotten hot as of late.
Jacor Nelson with it, 10 on the shot clock. There's Burke. Udy just checked back in, hands off to Burke, 5 on the shot clock. Udy, pump fake, steps in, now finds Burke, who launches and buries. 26 for Marcus Burke.
Really nice patience by Campbell right there. Shot clock winding down. Udy makes the extra pass.
You're right. There's no panic.
He's got the hot hand. Yeah, they really know and trust each other, this Campbell squad.
Georgie Pacheco using the screen. Now gets it to Ryan Kimwright. He's been a little quiet here in the second half. Holmesley for three. That's short. The rebound to Burke.
Yeah, they missed a shot, but that was good ball movement by the Flames. They need to do more of that. Certainly created a nice open shot for Caleb Holmesley that time.
Udy has it. It's off to Whitfield. Trying to post Udy, saying they get to Burke, top of the key. Once again, Udy, again, good passing big man. Gets it to Gensler. He'll drive in the lane, has it partially blocked. And they're going to say that's a tie-up. That's going to give the ball, actually they'll stay right here with Campbell. And that'll get us to a timeout. Well, does Liberty have another run in them? Trailing 71-59 as we come.
It's 4 a.m. and what do you see? Nothing, because it's dark. Which means the other breakfast guys are still sleeping, because it's 4 a.m. But you know who isn't sleeping? The Hardee's Biscuit Baker. They just got to work, mixing buttermilk, flour, butter, hand-kneaded, rolled, and put in the oven. Made from scratch every 15 minutes, because that's the only way to make a Hardee's biscuit. Let's see how the other guys are doing. Aw, sleep tight, fellas. Long day of pushing microwave buttons ahead. The Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit for just $1.69, only at Hardee's.
The running of the Bull Dogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico.
The Big South Sweepstakes is back for its 16th year. This year's sweepstakes grand prize package includes prizes from Hardee's, Roku, Marriott, South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, Pepsi, and Utz Snacks. Head to BigSouthSports.com/sweepstakes to enter. Deadline to register is February 23rd. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust. And it came, first play of the second half, right?
Yeah.
Two-handed throw down from the wily veteran, Ryan Kimwright. So the two-hand flush, Kimwright with 13.
Yeah, that gave them some life, and they really cut that 5-point deficit very quickly. Made this an even game, but kind of went a little bit cold right as Campbell reheated up. Chris Clemons.
Just check back in.
And Burke.
Good defense there. Shot clock violation. We'll give it back to Liberty. Now Baxter Bell checking back in as Caleb Holmesley will have a seat. 7.5 to go in the ball game. Liberty hasn't hit a shot in the last 3:22.
Campbell stays in his zone, so you got to find the gaps, move the ball, make that zone shift.
Georgie looking inside, nothing there. They'll swing it.
You know, sometimes you got to take a dribble and punch in one of those gaps, make two guys play, and then you got to kick off.
That'll work. Deep three from Georgie. They needed that.
Yeah, they did a good job there, kind of just doing what I was saying, moving the ball, making that zone shift.
Now can they string a couple of stops together?
Yeah.
Udy to Whitfield.
Princeton offense, a lot of movement, exchanges, back cuts. Reads.
There comes Clemens. Kimwright on him, fires off the mark. The rebound to Scotty James. Georgie. Over to Keegan McDowell. 10 first half points. Has not had many looks here in the second half. Scotty James going to launch off the mark.
Yeah, I mean, against that zone, you're going to get shots. You're going to get looks if you kind of move the ball, punch gaps and things. I think I'd rather have Kimwright in the corner shooting that one.
Gensler with it. Another one of the young guys that has improved a lot in his second season with Campbell.
Here's where Campbell gets tough. They don't have to be in any kind of panic. They can run clock.
No way. Oh my goodness!
At the end of a possession, he likes to do. He'll kind of.
What do you do, Naz?
Shake and bake, pull back.
There is no defense designed that's going to stop that. That's just God-given talent. As a whistle underneath. Goes against Campbell. I mean, come on. 10 3-pointers. Look at it. Your shot clock under 5. Winding down. He's all out there on the
shake and bake
on the
pull up
Liberty logo. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, what I haven't seen anybody do yet is run a second defender at him.
You're right.
Which was what I would do at the end of a game.
You and I have talked about that. He's hit 2 buzzer-beating threes, not from that deep, but in a similar fashion.
Yes, where you just set your defender up, maybe step back. You know, that's what, you know, again, coaches have different ways of handling things, but you could run a second guy at him to trap him, make him give it up, make somebody else try to beat you.
Well,
he certainly can.
You may see it the next time now that he's hit 2 buzzer beaters here in the span of, 9 days or whatever it was.
But there is no easy answer. I mean, you could try different things, but he is the real deal.
33 points, 10 of 13 from beyond the arc. It's not done yet.
Many of those way beyond the arc.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't have to review any to see if his toe was on the line. Burk open in the corner.
By Campbell.
And he's got 29.
See, and that's a great advantage when you got a guy like Udy that you can throw it into the post. He makes a great pass out of. Whitfield makes the extra pass to the corner.
Flames answer. George Pacheco has 18 as he's had a nice offensive performance.
Georgie doing all he can in this Flames trying to make a comeback.
He's going to start on this end. Burk letting it fly. He's got 32. Don't forget about this kid. One off his career high, which he scored against UNC Wilmington earlier this year.
I'm telling you, this Campbell team did not have this a year ago. They've taken their experience. They've added other guys that have really improved.
Keegan McDowell with the 3 of his own.
Big shot by Keegan. But again, this Campbell team has really added layers to their squad. They're a quality force to be reckoned with.
They are something else, the way they shoot the basketball. They lead by 11 with over 4.5 to go in the ball game. Well, fans, if you have a group outing or a special birthday celebration, be sure to call 434-582-SEAT to customize your special event. You can get special recognition through PA and video board announcements, group tickets, a tailgating spot, and even catering. Just call 434-582-SEAT to book your event today. How about Marcus Burk? Talk about Chris Clemens and his 33. Marcus Burk, young fella's got 32. 10 of 16 beyond the arc.
Talk about a 1-2 punch. I mean, just as you're recovering from Clemens hits, Burk is on fire. There's just not enough defenders to go around. Some of those are deep range too. And again, you just see why this team is a tough out. They got skills, they got athleticism, they got toughness.
Udy gets out to Whitfield. Again, they like to run offense through him. Look at that feed down low, just a little too far out in front of Clemens. Turnover gives it back to Liberty. Georgie, they forget about him. The top of the key doesn't fall. Fight for the rebound, taken inside by Kim Wright, and he's fouled as he takes it up strong. There's the heart, there's the hustle of a fifth-year senior kid.
Yeah, he snuck along the baseline as Udy was pulling that rebound, steals it away, draws the foul. Chance to put some points on the board and cut into this lead with the clock stopped.
Gets the first free throw to fall. 14 now for Ryan. He entered this ball game 11 3-pointers away from tying Larry Blair's program record. And he has 3 tonight, so now 8 back of that. As he continues to prove himself to be one of the better shooters that's ever worn a Flames uniform. 15 now for Kim Wright.
Well, if you're Campbell, you know, you could be a little patient, be deliberate on offense, run this clock, because you got guys that at the end of a possession can go get a shot, a very good shot.
There's that fine line. You don't want to get out of a natural rhythm you're in, but you're right. No need to rush at this point in the ball game either. Clemens gives up. Clemens may got poked in the eye as Whitfield drives and takes the foul. Clemens bent over, grabbing his face.
That may be the only way to stop him.
That's the best defense you can
Make
play.
him shoot with one eye, but now we hope he's okay.
Looks like he's going to shake it off. 9-point Campbell advantage as we come down the home stretch in Lynchburg.
What's the Big South?
It's our home.
Our home. Rooted in excellence.
Built
From hard work. It's our backbone.
An undeniable will.
Driven to surpass our potential.
It's our heart.
Unbreakable bonds.
And our journey.
Striving for more.
determined to lead.
Day in
And day out.
This is the Big South.
Where winners are made.
Sodexo, global leader in quality of life services, is committed to creating exceptional experiences at Liberty University. Enjoy delicious concessions as we cheer on the Flames. Visit us at our many dining locations for both campus and community. And join us in our efforts towards sustainability and fighting hunger in Central Virginia. Sodexo is changing the face of college dining. For more information, visit libertydining.com.
3:49 to go in the ball game. Campbell on top of the Flames, 80-71. Let's get a good look at Sparky there. It's the shirts they're giving away tonight, by the way.
We need to sneak up there and get one.
We need to find out where that's happening. I'd like to get one of those myself. Well, 3:49. Flames looking for one last push, and maybe more difficult than that. Not scoring on their end as much as stopping.
Yes. So, yeah, you got guys, Kem Wright's hit some shots, Keegan McDowell's hit some shots, Georgie, but they've not been able to have the defensive answer for Campbell tonight. That's been the biggest detriment.
It's going to be Shane Whitfield heading to the charity stripe. Barely drew iron on the first. And by the way, Chris Clemens with 33, if you're wondering what is his career high, yeah, he's not close. He scored 51 against UNC Asheville in the ball game last year. So,
and unbelievable in the tournament, no less. I mean, that's when they started their run. And again, I think that was the kind of the building blocks of this team kind of taking their next steps to this next level.
Keegan McDowell, pump fake, steps inside the three-point line. That one may have been partially blocked as it came up short.
When you pump fake, you've got to take that one dribble and create enough distance so the defender can't come up on your backside and get a piece of it, which I think might have happened there to Keegan.
Here the Camels showing a little patience. Shot clock down to 13. Clemens drives, hangs, hits. 36.
I mean, just again, when you run at him out on the perimeter, again, he can show he's got a variety of ways to score. Strong body, showing some hang time there.
Good feet inside. There's Elijah Cuffey for the lay-in.
Again, Liberty getting some baskets, but they can't trade. They got to get stops.
Yeah, Liberty has 73 points now. Liberty, and 70 is kind of the magic number for them. In fact, when Liberty scored more than 70 points the last 2 years, they're 22-1. That one was a triple overtime loss earlier this year against UNCG. They're over 70 now. They're going to have to do some work to make it or avoid that second loss. There's a big offensive rebound by Lotto.
Wow, the one time Clemens comes up with a miss. Lotto there to corral a huge offensive rebound and get a putback.
George Pacheco, aggressive play, get himself to the line, stop the clock with 2:22 to go. So Georgie heads to the stripe, already with 18 on the night. One more coming for Georgie. Lotto has a seat. Zach Farquhar checking in for the Flames. And Georgie gets the second. Here comes a little pressure from Liberty now. You don't see this often from the Flames. Because now they back it off. And there's a look. Just got word. 23 team three-pointers the most in a Big South Conference game. So a record, we are told, is taking place here tonight. Campbell, 23 of 33.
Yeah, I don't.
Right now,
they've just been raining them down all night. Liberty's just not had the answer. You know, you keep just kind of expect a team to at some point kind of go a little cold, but they've just been in rhythm, seem very comfortable.
Well, the 2:09 mark here, Liberty starts fouling. They foul Shane Whitfield, who hits the first free throw. I don't know if they're going to ride this thing out the rest of the way and just try to extend this game as much as they can. You saw Farquhar check in and commit that foul. Second one from Whitfield. And you almost feel like you dodge a bullet with them only getting 2 points on a possession instead of 3.
You're putting a good free throw shooting team to the line, but at least they're not getting 3. So
Georgie, 3 ball, that's pure. He's got 22, quick timeout.
There's a 3-for-2 switch out, but again, a long way to go. Stops is the key here.
2:01 to go in this ball game. Liberty trails by 10. Georgie Pacheco now 22 points in this ball game as he has really helped carry the offense, especially here in the second half when the shots have not come as easily for Liberty.
Yeah, I mean, Georgie with 22. You got other guys, you know, Kemwright with 15, Keegan 13, but just seemed like offense wasn't the issue.
Yeah.
It was they just couldn't come up with stops against the likes of, again, phenomenal shooter Chris Clemens, and then his counterpoint tonight,
Marcus Burk.
I mean,
those two guys have gone, it's like they have their own personal game within the game, a competition between the two of them. And right now, Clemens with the slight edge.
And talk about a 1-2 punch. And again, some other guys around those scorers that, you know their role, that do exactly what you need. You know, you need some guys like Whitfield.
Yeah.
Whitfield's kind of their glue guy. He's on the boards. He's diving on the floor. He's banging around. Udi, a great passer and rebounder. So they know their roles and play their roles very well, this Campbell team.
They will inbound it now, and let's see the strategy from Liberty. If they continue to foul, looks like they're going to try to deny the ball to Clemens with a couple of guys there. They inbound, they get it back to Gensler, and now in the hands of Chris Clemens. Elijah Cuffey. Out on Clemens, reaches in, called for the foul. So Clemens, a 90% free throw shooter, but he's just 3 of 6 tonight. As he sets up for that unorthodox free throw attempt we've seen now a few times. Gets it to fall. Second free throw, rattles through, 38.
Well, if you're Liberty, you got to get some quick shots, not crazy shots. You need make a pass or two, get something good and quick.
That was quick. George Pacheco with the lay-in. He's got 24.
Again, not a team you want to have to try to foul in Campbell. They got a lot of good shooters from the free throw line.
Farquhar trying to commit the foul there on Whitfield, a little late doing so, and now Clemens just meandering his way through the defense, eventually fouled out near half court. He'll head to the free throw line with 1:21 to go. So Clemens with a chance to get to 40 here at the free throw line. I may be one off on my count. We got it officially at 37.
Well, it's hard to count that high.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't counted this high in years, Naz. So let's say he has 38 now. Missed the second.
I mean, you can see why this kid's getting national recognition, and I mean, he's on the radar of NBA scouts.
Ryan Kimwright, way strong with that three. Georgia Pacheco pulls the rebound. In traffic, up. Oh, look at the spin he put on that one. Couldn't finish. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Liberty. Well, Naz, I don't know about you. The first thought that came to mind when I heard the news that Lavelle Cabell was out for tonight.
Yes, you and I had the same thought.
Oh no, Chris Clemens might have himself a night. Because I mean, Cabell gave him some fits last year.
Certainly kept him in check.
Yes.
A large portion of the game. Again, he got his total, but bothered him. And you know, again, you never want to stop him. But yeah, Matt, we had the same thought, just knowing that with Lavelle being out, who would be able to, you know, and again, Cuff has done a great job in this understanding Liberty's offensive scheme, becoming a stop, but he's a freshman. And he's certainly not played against the likes of a guy like Chris Clemens. So an admirable job done by Elijah tonight.
Sure.
Just no answers.
Yeah.
For CC.
You don't run into many guys like him. And for a freshman, that is a tall task. No doubt about it. 90 points Campbell has hung on Liberty here tonight. They've done that on a Liberty team that's top 10 in the nation in scoring defense. I mean, it's been unreal, Naz. I know you've been around the game a long time. I don't know if you've seen many nights, shooting nights.
Not as a
like
team.
This.
I mean, certainly you see guys that have, you know, great scorers and huge nights like Clemens is having and even Burke. But as a team, you know, to come in and hit 23 threes out of 33, I mean, it's like, 23 in itself is a huge number, but the percentage there of, they've just been on fire, and it started right from the tip.
Cuffey gonna fire the three. That's off the mark. Rebound taken by Campbell. As Clemens is fouled. And Georgia Pacheco's down on the court. Well, this could be adding insult to injury as he's writhing in pain on the floor.
I can't tell what's injured. I thought I saw him grabbing for his ankle.
He's on his back as Aaron Schreiner, the team trainer, comes over. Richie Mckay making his way out there as well. So Georgie being tended to right now. They're going to bring some teammates over to help carry him off the court.
Yeah, they don't want him to put too much weight on that ankle, it looks like. Yeah, there's a guy you cannot afford to lose. I mean, Liberty's already gotten the bad news with Lavelle out indefinitely with an injury, and we'll see how things go for Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz.
So he makes his way out of this ball game, something we will no doubt keep an eye on in the coming days. Meanwhile, Chris Clemens at the line. Hits the first. And now he has an opportunity to hit the 40-point mark. And he does. Cool 40 for Chris Clemens tonight. As the last few seconds wind down in this ball game. Dowell, little step back jumper, comes up short. Scotty James fighting for the rebound, lays it in. He's got 13. And we'll see if the Flames continue to foul or just, and they do. So they're going to play this one out to the final second.
You know what's interesting is, you know, you see this 40 points by Clemens, and we got 32 but Burke. But it's been in the context of their offense. He's not looked to go one-on-one and force shots. Campbell had real good flow and ball movement and taking those shots in the context of their offense.
Clemens took 16 shots. That's not a ridiculous number. He just happened to make 11 of them, and 10 of them happened to be threes. I mean, he's been efficient. This isn't like you hear all these Trae Young numbers with Oklahoma. Oh, he scored 40 on 38 shots. This isn't a night like that.
And that's what I mean. That's why I think what Campbell's got going right now is for real, because they're not forced shots. They're sharing the ball. Other guys are involved, and they are going to be a tough out when tournament time rolls around.
Flames not fouling now as they're accepting their fate here, trailing 94-83. Yeah, how impressive has this night been? Well, Clemens and Whitfield have combined for 74 points. Liberty as a team allows an average of 62 per ball game. So those two guys have outscored what Liberty normally gives up on average as Clemens does the merciful thing and just hangs on to the basketball. There's the shot clock hits 0. Liberty will inbound now as the clock winds down. Cuffey gonna launch a 3. No. Throw down by Scotty James with .2 left. Gets him to 15 points. And that will just about do it. A night folks in this gym won't soon forget, as they saw an absolutely unbelievable offensive performance from Chris Clemons and Marcus Burk as well. Can't say enough about the job he did as Campbell comes into Lynchburg and gets the win 94-85. Much more coming up after the ball game, including our player of the game. Who might that be? Find out next. He has not disappointed here so far this evening. He's been awfully good. 17 first half points for Clemens. And he's been getting it done beyond the arc.
From off of the bus.
Yeah.
He was hot. We saw him hit some real deep ones even out there at the hash mark. And again, it's a guy who you know what's coming, but stopping it is a whole nother story.
Yeah, same goes for Marcus Burk. The two of them each hit 5 threes apiece in the first half. So 10 of the 13 Campbell threes come from those two. Burk, an excellent sophomore shooter that's really helped take this Campbell program, this team, to another level with his play.
Yeah, again, because no longer can you just focus on one guy. You know, they got Burk. You know, we saw even Gensler hit one and Udy. So that supporting cast of characters has made Campbell a real well-rounded, solid team.